What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got round 3 from the Archon Vault Tour over in Poland. And that deck on the right might look a bit familiar. It is ADM Inslang the Pink Fraud, a previous Vault Tour winning deck. It's famous for playing 2 Battle Fleet to draw a bunch of cards, then using Key Abduction to forge their final key. It's also got Library Access and Wild Wormhole, 2 Routine Job, Miasma, lots of good stuff. It is a Logos Mars Shadows deck. First non-disc deck we've seen on stream. Speaking of non-disc decks, how about Brobnar Logo Shadows, Bandits D. Robinson, 3 Archimedes, 2 Hexpion, 2 Lab Work, double Neutron Shark. Yeah, treble Archimedes, double Lab Work, double Neutron Shark, plus a memory chip. This is archiving coming out of the wazoo. Over in Brobnar, we got lots of fighting-y stuff. And over in Shadows, double Miasma. Brenda Fanatic with double Life for a Life. Remember all the archiving. And we saw on stream yesterday. We saw on stream yesterday somebody playing around with Brenda Fanatic and a bunch of archiving, and it worked beautifully. So archiving plus Brenda Fanatic is not ideal. Well, it's ideal for you, it's not for your opponent. So yeah, it's going to be rough. So we do see a Groggins coming down. We see a bait and switch. We see a poison wave. It's, there's an awful lot of fun going on here. There's a Groggins down that's taking a couple damage from the poison wave. So that's kind of cool. If anybody there in the stream can hear the commentary, do check. I've just checked and it seems to be working, but someone's telling me it isn't. So if we could have kind of a third place arbiter, that would be amazing. It would make me happy. So, oh, that discard pile is just off the stream. Oh, off the thing. That's going to be awkward. Now, we do have double Groggins down. Now we see Battle Fleet coming down. You show 2 cards, you draw 2 cards. You don't lose the 2 cards, you get them back. So you gain an Amber bonus and you draw a couple of cards. That is a huge advantage. We see a Vesemir Think Drone coming down. Sorry, a Grabber Jammer. Increases the cost of forging by 1. We see an EMP Blast, which stuns it and destroys artifacts. I'm confused. Why did he not play the EM... Oh, did he play the Vesemir Think Drone before he drew? Because otherwise, he should definitely have played the EMP Blast before playing the Vesemir Think Drone. So Poke comes down, gets an Amber bonus, does a damage. The discard pile now is nice and visible, which is lovely. I do have a line to the people who are running the stream, so I can, not unlike Christoph here, poke them. Boom, nailed it. And everything is good. Okay. So, Neutron Shark. So much Neutron Shark on stream yesterday. So much Neutron Shark. And it just destroys a whole bunch of creatures. So Neutron Shark, when you play it, it destroys a friendly creature or artifact and an enemy creature or artifact, and then you discard the top card of your deck. If it's not logos, you do it all over again. Okay. It can be a very devastating card. So Lights Out returns Archimedes and Groggins to Christoph's hand while getting himself an Amber bonus. Archon comes down to steal an Amber, puts himself on check. Routine Job comes down to steal an Amber. It feels like recently on stream, every time someone's got 2 Routine Job, they seem to play them together. Okay, so the audio is definitely working. Life is good, ladies and gentlemen. The commentary is running through nicely. So. Oh, memory chip. Now, I did talk at the beginning about Christoph's archiving. Memory chip and Hexpion are going to help, as is Archimedes. As is Archimedes. And, of course, each Archimedes is giving its neighbor destroyed archive this creature, which is, of course, the Archimedes. Jar Goggle comes down. You put a card under it when you play it. Oh, look. Neutron Shark. Gets rid of the Urchin. And because it's destroyed on your turn, you get to play the card. And it is Burn the Stockpile. If your opponent has 7 or more amber, they lose 4. That is the perfect time to play Burn the Stockpile. And basically just using that as a pseudo like phase shift. You put the card under Jar Goggle, then destroy Jar Goggle with Neutron Shark, allowing you to play the card under Jar Goggle even though it's not a logos card. So a very clever, creative way to house cheat there. I really enjoy that play. So lab work comes down, gains an amber and archives, and we've actually got Christoph building up a little bit of an archive at this stage, and that is going to really help him. Building up one house in the archive and then just having a nuts turn with that particular house. So Seismo Entangler comes down there. No, that's not. I keep calling things Seismo Entangler and they're not. We do, however, see a reverse time. It's a Spectral Tunneler. Choose a creature for the remainder of the turn. That creature is considered a flank creature and gains Reap. Draw this card. So reverse time swaps your deck in your discard pile and then you shuffle your deck. What that allows you to do is basically, if you've got a very small discard pile of a couple of cards you really want to play, you use reverse time, you swap them over, and then those cards that you really want to play again are in a very small deck and you're going to draw into them rather quickly. So I like this very much. And we've also got a Doc Bookton and a Brain Eater coming down on Jakob's side of the field. So Christoph here, he's chosen logos. Now, Memory Chip is not a you may, it is a you must. So you do have to archive when you choose logos. Now, the good news is we've got a couple of Reaping down here, so we just get a bunch of amber for Christoph. Christoph goes to 7 amber. Because of the previous Burn the Stockpile, Jakob's not actually been able to get back up to check here, so he's not in a position to forge a key. Now, we are playing a lab work here, which means he's going to be able to archive another card. Oh, Anna Jar Goggle. What a surprise. Has he got a Neutron Shark? Yes, he does. Don't be surprised that these cards keep coming back. He is archiving them. He's using Archimedes. This is a very deliberate thing. So he uses Neutron Shark to destroy Jar Goggle. And then, of course, he gets to play Groggins. Jar Goggle then goes in the archive because of Archimedes. And then if he destroys Neutron Shark using Neutron Shark, it's going to get archived because of Archimedes. So it's not like how does he have Jar Goggle and Neutron Shark every turn? Of course he has Jar Goggle and Neutron Shark every turn. Because he's actively archiving them. We saw an extremely similar thing going on in the sealed tournament yesterday. If you've got Neutron Shark and Archimedes, Neutron Sharkimedes. You can, sorry, I enjoyed that. Then you can do this every turn. Now, the more Archimedes you've got, the better. But, oh, look, it's another Neutron Shark. So down goes the Spectral Tunneler. Down goes that Neutron Shark. Now that's archived. Kolf the Quiet goes away. And all of a sudden, you've got just... he is clearing the board every turn. And double Neutron Shark means that if you do end up hitting a logos card so Neutron Shark stops, you can do it again. Now, you do see Battlefleet Blade being played here to draw 3 cards. But Jakob's on the back foot. Now, EMP Blast does come down. Now, EMP Blast is kind of useful here. It stuns each Mars creature and each robot creature. Archimedes is a cyborg, so it's not actually that useful. Not a robot. Got to be a robot. So, Squawker comes down, and we do see Grabber Jammer here capturing an Amber. We got Jakob has gone up to 9 Amber, while his opponent is sitting there on 7. And Grabber Jammer will increase the cost of forging to 7, but Christoph has 7. So Christoph will be forging a key this turn. Now, there are actually 2 Grabber Jammer in the deck, but... And the question here is how far? How far does Christoph go? Does he just keep going logos every turn? And to be honest, there's an argument for it. Like, what he can do here is just reap with Hex Beyond, reap with both the Archimedes, gain himself 3 Amber, put himself up to 4. Play Neutron Shark. The problem is he's not playing Amber control by doing that. And his opponent's got 9 Amber. And we've seen this time and again where, hey, look, I'm clearing your battle line, I'm clearing your battle line, and the other player just ends up forging keys from, like, bonus Amber on cards. Or things of that nature. So Christoph here, he's literally got a hand of Shadows cards. Now, I'm not seeing and he does have 2 Miasma. I'm not seeing Miasma there. Also, a Brenda the Fanatic Life for a Life combo would be lovely. Now, it looks like he's got a Ronnie Wrist Clocks, which will steal 2 Amber. So he has gone Shadows there. So he does steal those 2 Amber. That's going to be helpful. Oh, no, he does have a Miasma. I'm lying to you. So there goes Miasma to stop his opponent forging anyway. So what we're seeing here is very good play from Christoph. You cannot just go logos every single turn. It's not going to work. You've got to do other stuff. And what Christoph's doing here is he's gone logos, he's done his stuff, and now he's building up his Amber. And now he's doing a bit of stealing. He doesn't need logos this turn, so he's going over to Shadows. Now, a very interesting play here. He's gone for the Sting. Oh, there goes Life for a Life. He is going to take out the Grabber Jammer. Now, what he's actually done there, he's played the Sting, and it says, skip your Forger Key step. You get all Amber spent by your opponent when forging keys. But he's done it after playing a Miasma, so Jakob won't be forging a key here. Now, Bait and Switch will steal a couple of Amber. The good news is there's no too much to protect. There is no way that Christoph plays a Sting if he knows his opponent's playing a too much to protect. It's too awkward a play. But they kind of undid the Miasma a little bit. Oh, no, I'm lying to you. That's actually a really clever play. He's playing the long game because now his opponent, every Amber Jakob gains this time is going to be going to Christoph. Because by playing the Miasma, Jakob skips his Forger Key turn, which means he now gets more Amber, and then when he forges a key next turn, it all goes to Christoph. No, I'm lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he has got to be able to get rid of the Sting. One of the things about the Sting, now he's stealing an Amber, but this doesn't matter. It's going to go straight back to Christoph next turn. I love this play. I missed that. Sorry, I can't believe I missed that for a second. Now, if you're playing the Sting, you have got to have an out. You have got to have an out. And he's got Neutron Shark. So expect a Logos turn next turn. Not this turn, next turn. What he can essentially do this turn is whatever he wants, it doesn't really matter. And then next turn, Jakob's going to forge a key. And the 8 Amber will go back to Christoph. If Jakob had any way to get rid of the Sting, it had to have been last turn. It's too late now. So Christoph is getting all 8 of that Amber. This might be an even better combo than Sharkamedes. Using Miasma to skip your opponent's Forger Key turn so that your opponent gets more amber and then gives it to you with the sting. So now goes treble Archimedes. Now, he could have put an Archimedes down next to the other Groggins to archive them both, but the problem is, if you archive too many Brobnar cards, then your hand gets clogged when you pick up the archive. The ideal situation, there goes Jogoggle again, the ideal situation most of the time, and there are exceptions, is to have just one house in your archive, so you can go nuts, play all the cards you pick up with your archive, and then you don't have to worry. Oh, Grunt Buggy's down. And then you don't have to worry about clogging up your hand. You can still draw extra cards at the end of your turn. Now, remember, Christoph doesn't get rid of the sting now. He needs to very much not get rid of the sting now. It needs to be next turn he gets rid of the sting. Now, it's slightly risky. He's letting his opponent go up by a key. But his opponent is going to be giving him 8 amber, and he's going to be on 0 amber remaining. So Jakob's going to have 1 key, but starting from scratch in terms of amber. And Christoph is going to have 15 amber. That's 2.5 keys worth. So, okay, didn't quite see what that card was, unfortunately. So lab work goes down, gets him an amber, lets him archive a card. And it's got to be a non-logos card here. And now he's run out of deck, so his discard pile becomes his deck. Jakob isn't on the back foot. Oh no, he is not on the back foot. He is very much not. Jakob... Oh. No, I'm disagreeing. I think in this game, Jakob very much is on the back foot. He's got no battle line, no archives, no amber, and his opponent is sitting there on like 16 amber at this stage. The thing is, Jan Jakob's deck is disgusting. Now remember, Jakob has a key cheating card in Key Abduction. Jakob is up by a key. So make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a Jakob isn't going to win from here. It is Christoph has pulled off a great double play with Miasma and the Sting. And his archiving tricks are working nicely. That does not mean he's going to win this game. Again, I said this at the beginning of the game, but I think it very much bears repeating now. A Crazy Killing Machine. Shout out to those guys for running the stream, by the way. Those guys are awesome. Lovely dudes. Met them in Birmingham. Great people. As Battlefleet draws more cards. He might be on the back foot now, but I've seen it come out of nowhere. I did write that a while ago. Oh, yes. And it can. It's a Vault Tour winning deck. It is a phenomenal deck. Now, maybe you have a Vault Tour deck that wins a sealed tournament and it's a weaker field of sealed decks and it's not a phenomenal deck. That I can understand. But you do not win an Archon Vault Tour unless you have a phenomenal deck. Christoph's had the better of the early exchanges. But I want to just point out here, Jakob's on check. And Christoph is not forging a key. Now, I told you Christoph's play was very risky. Because he's got approximately infinite amber. And by the way, he knows his opponent isn't playing Shatterstorm, Doorstep to Heaven, too much to protect. If he was playing those cards, he wouldn't have done this. But the fact of the matter is, Jakob's on check. Christoph has now gone for logos, a house which is not great at getting rid of amber. Now, he does have Jogoggle, but he's using it to play a Groke. Now, Grunt Buggy is out. So Jakob won't be forging because the 2 Groggins and the Groke mean that his keys will cost 9 because of the Grunt Buggy. So that will stop Jakob forging here. But Jakob's still got 7 amber. And remember, he's got double Battlefleet. He's got key abduction. He doesn't need to follow the rules in that regard. He can forge a key and then draw a bunch of cards and then forge another key. And that's how his deck wins. He's a Vault Tour winning deck that's sitting at 2-0. it has absolutely got a bunch of options for trying to bring this back. And to be fair, he's got a lot of archiving too. The problem is he's not actually built up much of an archive at the moment. Oh my goodness. He does play Interdimensional Graft. No, he's not got it now. But Interdimensional Graft, if your opponent forges a key, they must give you their remaining amber. It's kind of like the action equivalent of the sting. Now, Poison Wave is clearing the board here nicely. But if Jakob can get himself an not even necessarily for this key, maybe for the next key. If Jakob can get himself an Interdimensional Graft. Oh! Okay. And there goes Carlo Phantom. And I think this is what Crazy Killing Machine was talking about in the chat. We've got a Miasma, which has stopped him forging a key next turn. He's got 9 amber. So even with the Grunt Buggy and the 3 big creatures, he's still forging a key. And then here's the thing, right? Jakob's up by a key. He is on check, even with Grunt Buggy and 3 powerful creatures. And he's got Interdimensional Graft. And that has got to be the card he's searching for here. If he can play Interdimensional Graft, and remember, forging a key is not an optional thing. If he can hit his Interdimensional Graft next turn, does he have it in hand? I think he might. I think that second card from the left might be Interdimensional Graft. If it is, he wins. I don't see any way he doesn't win after that. Because again, his opponent doesn't have too much to protect or effervescent printable or any of that stuff. I think he's got Interdimensional Graft in hand. And if he does, this is going to be ridiculous. Playing Miasma, and again, he's actually stealing Christoph's plan. Christoph used Miasma to stop Jakob forging so that he'd have more amber, so he'd steal more with a sting. Well, Jakob just played Miasma. Christoph is not forging a key. I am sure that Interdimensional Graft... No, I'm not that sure, but I think he has it in hand, which means next turn, Jakob is going to play Interdimensional Graft. Christoph is going to have no choice but to forge a key at 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I think it's going to be like 14 amber he gives. And bearing in mind... At that point, Jakob is going to be... He's going to have 1 key remaining. And he's going to have... like 14 amber. 16. Every amber Christoph's getting here is actually going to go to Jakob. Oh, now this is annoying. Unfortunately, he is able to take away a couple of amber. That means that Jakob is not going to be forging next turn. Groke, your opponent loses an amber when he fights. So unfortunately, he is able to fight and get rid of that amber. And with the Grunt Buggy, Jakob's keys cost 9 and he's only got 7. But he's still up by a key. Go on, show me the Interdimensional Graft. Show me the Interdimensional Graft. I'm sure I saw it in his hand. Oh, library access. This turn is going to be horrible. There goes reverse time. Now it draws a card, and then discard pile becomes deck, deck becomes discard. Shuffle your deck. Oh man, imagine this pre-errata. Pre-errata, you didn't have to... Pre-errata, you didn't purge library access. With a small deck like this, it would work. Now, here's an interesting thing. Christoph's still got the sting. So you can't play Interdimensional Graft yet. And I think I'm not usually a fan of keeping cards in your hand. I am not a fan of keeping cards in your hand. Because you draw until you've got 6 cards at the end of your turn. You cycle through your deck. Keeping a card in your hand is like your opponent having a succubus out. But if you've got Interdimensional Graft, yeah, he does. You cannot play it. He's got to wait for Christoph to get rid of the sting. And Crazy Killing Machine's pointing out in the chat, it was a misplay not getting rid of the sting last turn. It is going to come back to bite him because He's now, and again, all the amber that Christoph is gaining is going to go to Jakob when he plays Interdimensional Graft, which Christoph doesn't know. But then Christoph, it's an Archon tournament. In an Archon tournament, you get to look at your opponent's Archon card. So he knows, or at least he should know, that his opponent is playing Interdimensional Graft. Christoph had such a good start to the game, and that Miasma, the Sting play was amazing, but Interdimensional Graft is going to turn it around. Now, he does get rid of the Sting. Oh, but Jakob's not forging a key. Because there's 3 creatures out in a grunt buggy. Doesn't really matter, mind you. Bren the Fanatic is done. Oh, now he is! But Neutron Shark is out. Now he plays Life for a Life to get rid of the Bren. Gets the free amber, stealing. I was going to say, Bren, for a moment, put Jakob onto check there. But then destroying it with Life for a Life got rid of it. Oh, burn the stockpile. But remember, burn the stockpile only gets rid of 4 amber. Burn the stockpile is not going to defeat Jakob when he plays that Interdimensional Graft. Oh, this is going to be one of the dirtiest plays I've ever seen. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Oh, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be wonderful. And Jakob's just sitting there, just being like, I've got Interdimensional Graft in hand. And then the question is going to be, can Christoph get the Sting back? He plays it! He plays the Interdimensional Graft, and his opponent has got to forge a key next turn. It's going to cost 6 amber, and all the other amber is going to go to Jakob. Oh, it's so much amber. Look at all the amber. And Christoph's going like, that didn't work. I think he is literally stealing so much amber, he doesn't have enough tokens, and he's actually having to take his opponent's tokens. That's just dirty. And what, I mean, Christoph doesn't have any cards that can deal with this. He's got the Sting. His only hope, and I might be missing something from the deck list, but that I can see his one hope here is to find the Sting. If he can find the Sting, he can get all that amber back. But he needs to find it fast. Now, he does have double Miasma, which will buy him time. And he does have a Miasma in hand, which he can play now. But if this game runs out of time, the tiebreaker is who's got the most amber. It's Jakob. Oh my goodness. That was such a great play. Such a good play. Well, Crazy Killing Machine did tell us that Jakob had tricks, and he does. But like I said, and I started the game with this. You don't win a Vault Tour unless you got a phenomenal deck. You just don't. You need plays like this. You need cheeky things like this. And the other thing is that Jakob has played this deck over and over again. He's won a Vault Tour with it. He saw what his opponent was doing with the Miasma and the Sting and went, right, Interdimensional Graft. That's my out. I noticed it looking at the deck list. Of course, Jakob knew it was in his deck. So he knew it was going to happen. And honestly, one of the best things Christoph can try and do here is just run through his deck. He needs to get the Sting back. What he needs to do is essentially just keep playing Miasma and using the Sting to try and hurt his opponent. But remember, Jakob plays Key Abduction. So he can use Key Abduction. If he can find it, he can forge a key with Key Abduction. Oh, I think he's got it. I think that's Key Abduction. No, it's not. Sample collection. Boo! I got all excited for nothing. There's an orbital bombardment. So he gets to deal a bunch of damage around. Gets rid of an Archimedes. Gets rid of a Groggin, sorry. Because remember, his keys still cost 8 at the moment. EMP Blast comes down, just grabs an amber. Oh, look! Gets rid of it. So that's going to help. Grab a Jammer comes down to increase the cost of forging a key by 1. And now all Christoph can do here is just try and slow him down with miasma and find the sting. And he's got to do it fast. Because as soon as Jakob forges a key, the sting does nothing. So he kind of needs it this turn. He does not have it in hand. And he doesn't have double battle fleet like Jakob does. Although, remember, you can only play 1 house per turn. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's not looking good for Christoph. He had such a good turn. It was 1 card. Now, don't get me wrong. Jakob played fantastically to get himself in that position, but it really was the interdimensional graph that's turned this around. And once again, Christoph, he's had a battle line all game. All game, he's had a big battle line. And he's been doing all of his tricks. But the tricks don't win the game. The amber wins the game. And he had the amber, but not after the interdimensional graft. So he wasn't able to play a miasma, so Jakob's forging his second key, and I don't think he can really lose from here unless Christoph can chain miasma. And there are 2 in his deck. And his deck is very small, I believe. So maybe he can do it. So uses Poison Wave, takes out the 2 Hex Biome. In fact, takes out everything. No, there is 1 Groggin sitting there with essentially 1 health remaining. Down goes Archon to steal an amber, just in case he needed any more. Lights Out comes down to get rid of it off the field. Heals it as well nicely, which is quite nice of him. Plays a Dodger, plays a Carlo Phantom. Oh, he's got a miasma of his own. So Christoph isn't even able to forge his second key. Does he have anything? There's no miasma in hand, so I believe we're done here. Unless he's got 1 archived. No, I think we're done here, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't have a miasma in hand. He doesn't have a miasma in his archives. There is no way his deck can steal enough amber to stop him forging a key here. I think that's it. I think we're done. Christoph's looking at all of his cards. He's weighing up his options. It's got to be miasma. He doesn't have Shadowstorm. He doesn't have Effervescent Principle. He doesn't have Doorstep to Heaven. He doesn't have too much to protect. He does have miasma. So he can use Poke to get rid of Archon and draw a card. But does that help? So he plays down a couple of Hex Biome. Plays down a Jargoggle. And now he can play Neutron Shark to destroy it. What card did he put under it? And there goes Carlo Phantom. It's a Smith. Gain 2 amber if you control 2 more creatures than your opponent. But that's not going to stop him forging a key. Dodger goes down. Neutron Shark goes down. Now we see a lab work. Gains another amber. But there's nothing he can do. Jakob forges his first key, and Crazy Killing Machine was right all along, ladies and gentlemen. Jakob's deck does absolutely do what it needs to do. He's got so really much amber. It's just ridiculous. And very well played. And this is why Jakob's won a Voltor and why he's got a Voltor winning deck. The first couple turns, he was on the back foot. He had a bad first couple of turns. He was staring down an opponent with a huge pool of amber who was in the lead, and he went, yeah, we're fine. And then he won that game going away. He didn't just kind of eke out a victory there. He won that game going away. That could have been the first to 8 keys and Yaka would have won that game. That was just crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed that game very much indeed. Now, there is going to be a lunch break at some point. I'm not entirely sure when lunch is actually going to be kicking in. Jakob's deck name is ADM in slang, The Pink Fraud. If you go to youtube.com/WossyPlays and search for The Pink Fraud, then you will actually find an analysis of the deck. I've actually made a video all about the deck. In fact, I can probably... Oh, in fact, what I can give you just a deck list in the chat right now. Let's do that. So there's the deck list there. But I've actually made a video about the deck. It won the Vault Tour in Germany. So let's just link that one in the Twitch chat for the moment. Okay. Now, I am going to try and get rid of the Windows taskbar. I've got an idea. I'm going to do my very best. Now, we're going to be here every round today and every round tomorrow. I'm going to have to kill the stream to try and get rid of the taskbar. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The stream will be back for round 4. Just leave a stream open with your notifications on. Follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we go, where I'll be in touch about all of it. And keep up to date there. Thank you very much for... if you're on the YouTube, comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. Check out the Patreon. Look after yourselves till next time. Bye.